between it's the second leg between Rangers and Fenerbahçe at Ibrox. 8 o'clock kickoff, and we have got the top team here. We have got hopefully coming up. We've got Robbie, and later on in the show we will be joined by Andy, our resident Rangers fan, and also Reagan is here as well. How are you, Reagan?
Hi, Michael, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, mate. Yeah.
Sounding good, sounding clear.
Yes. Yep.
That's good. I'm trying to listen to your comments, so that's good to hear. Um, I am doing well, Michael, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, yeah. It's good to see you.
I
You
thought
fit.
I dropped off to get a drink. I just said I thought Robbie was joining you. That's why I come on about a minute later.
Yeah, no, it's okay, but yeah, it's nice to hear you've got some new as we say in the business, new cans for the show and for the locker room tonight as well.
New, new whole setup, mate. New mic, new equipment. So hope everything's sounding good.
Yeah,
Um,
thinking professional as ever, mate. So nothing beats a locker room on our first good night. So let's look to the game then, Regan, because I think me and you, Robbie, was on the show last week, and we gave it the big. We gave it like Fenerbahce is going to basically win against Rangers, and what do we know that Rangers put in a brilliant showing. To be honest, they nearly won that. They nearly won that game 5-1 if it wasn't for the VR goal. So I was
yeah.
a very big win for Rangers last week.
I mean, Rangers were great last week, and I think in terms of what they were doing, they were, they were playing really well. And I think in terms of what Barry Ferguson was doing, that was a big statement performance, Michael. I mean, to get that victory is absolutely brilliant for them. And I think in terms of what Rangers want to do as a club, that's what they want to do. They want to progress in Europe, and I think tonight's a big night.
Yeah, no. Obviously we'll get on to hear what Barry Ferguson says and Mourinho in the build up to the game as well. But nobody. I mean, it's hard enough going away in European football against one of those top giant Fenerbahce, but not anybody. But maybe 1-0, maybe 2-0 away from home, but like 3-1, that's a big margin away from home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big margin, and also it's a statement from Rangers to get that type of performance because everybody was thinking the Rangers were going to get beaten, stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's credit to Barry Ferguson and his staff.
Yeah, and also as well, Reagan, that it's going away in the first leg. I always say to you on the show whenever the Scottish teams are playing in Europe, that you want the first game to be sorry, you want the home game to be second because then you know what to do. But it didn't really matter for Rangers last week, and it was business as usual.
I think in terms of Rangers, I mean they'll be going into this game hoping they can get a big victory. But I think Fenerbahce are a very good team, so I don't think they'll be underestimating how good they are. Big thing that I was reading on in the newspapers today, Michael, is that San Maximan, the winger who come on, and caused Rangers a lot of problems. He's not travelled, so that's good news.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's good news for Rangers, and I suppose that Rangers has got home advantage now, Reagan, for this tie. That um, they've got 50,000 behind them. for the 90 minutes.
To be honest with you, mate, I don't know if it is home advantage because Rangers have not won at Ibrox for a long time. As you know, they get beat by Queen's Park, beat by Motherwell, and then beat by St Mirren. So we don't really know if it's a big advantage at the moment. I think in terms of what we are able to see on Rangers is that on a Thursday night they seem to turn it on, and I mean that night in January the 2nd they managed to turn it on against Celtic, and funnily enough, Michael, that was on a Thursday night as well. So I don't know what it is with Rangers and Thursday nights. So I think in terms of what Rangers are striving for, Michael, I think they're pretty happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, one of my questions was going to be, Reagan, is the Rangers players short changing the fans in terms of like they can't beat Queen's Park and Morrow, but they can beat the likes of the European teams they played this season?
I think short-changing the fans are strong term, Michael. I think what they are doing is they're probably, how can I say it? They probably get nervous in front of the big crowd. I don't know if they've got strong characters to be able to handle the pressure. I think Barry Ferguson even admitted it to the press yesterday, in that Ibrox, he basically said that some of the players are not have not been able to handle it well, but he's trying to change that.
I mean, looking back at the first game, it was a good start. Rangers got in there, they go through get deserts, but looking at tonight's game, they don't have to go. They don't have to start off in the front foot.
No, they can take it easy. See if they're going at half time and the scores 0-0. That's great news. You know, that's absolutely fantastic. That'll certainly do Rangers. And I think in terms of what they're trying to do as a club, they're trying to move forward. Rangers don't need to gung ho. It's Fenerbahçe that need to come out. I mean, Jose Mourinho's already said yesterday that he feels that his team will get the better Rangers. And we'll get on to that because I certainly don't. I feel like Rangers will get the better of Fenerbahçe. I think they will clearly be ahead of them. I don't feel Rangers are rushing to the game. I don't think they'll part 10 buses like you said on previous shows, Michael, but I feel like they'll go in there with a plan and they'll try and make sure that Rangers are able to get through, because I think Barry Ferguson, as much as the previous manager, before he come on, didn't really pay Josie any respect. I think Barry's got the utmost respect of what Josie's won. He mentioned yesterday he's won something like 26 major trophies. So, I mean, it is possible that Jose Mourinho loses, wins this match tonight, sorry. But I think if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, so please don't go on and put it on. But if I'm a betting man, then I would say Rangers to win the match tonight.
The you mentioned about Mourinho's press conferences, and I must admit that the last two press conferences have been very good and very gallus, you would say. But I was just going to say to you, Regan, about some of the statements that he made yesterday was well, ready to go. Obviously, you know they need to come out and be on the front foot and all that. But the second guys were better than Rangers. Now, I don't know if he's trying to spoil the kind of
No,
party, as it were,
I'll tell
tonight.
I'll tell you what he's trying to do, Michael. He's trying to play mind games with the Rangers players. You know, he's trying to say, look, that this is the situation, but he knows fine well what the situation is. He he's been part of this course for a very long time, and I feel like he's the perfect man. I'm just looking forward to seeing him in Glasgow. I think it's great for the city. I was out in a Glasgow restaurant earlier, Michael, for my lunch. There was a lot of Fenerbahce fans there actually. I'll not disclose the restaurant um, anyone in case anyone sees me in future. But I had a lovely lunch. and I did see a lot of Fenerbahçe fans in there.
Yeah, I always like speaking to Reagan, right, because the first time that he when I speak to him on the phone, he always reminds me about what he had for lunch or breakfast and dinner and all that. And then he speaks about football, so food's more important than football, I suppose.
Definitely, Michael. I mean, I think in terms of the food, the food. I mean, who doesn't love their grub? You know, you know. I used to be an athlete a couple of years ago, but now I can enjoy myself.
Yeah, no, definitely. But going back to that quote that Mourinho made about we're better than Rangers, do you think that he's kind of getting to, as you say, the Rangers players' heads, but also they trying to think a message out because the own team about after the first game about we are better than Rangers, but we never showed it on the night.
I think he knows personally, right, that they were. There's plenty of words I could use, expletives, swear words I could use. But I won't use it because we're live on air right now. But he knows that they were pretty bad, and that can't happen again tonight, Michael. I mean, they need to turn it on. But the only thing I would say to that, people can comment in. I just feel like that squad's a bit aging for me, Michael. I mean, look at the some of the players like Tadic, Dzeko, and all that. These guys are looked a bit over the hill last week. And Mark Guidi made a good point on Monday. If you looked at Dzeko, I mean, Dzeko was a guy that was shaking Rangers players' hands. He didn't really look too upset. So maybe they went into last week's match. We'll have the wrong mentality, Michael. I don't know what you think about that because maybe they. I'm not saying that they underestimated Scottish football, but that may have been the case.
Yeah, no, I heard somebody else saying a similar point to Matt Gwiggy about like they can estimate Scottish football, and that's what I mean about when we cover Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, and Europe this season. Other countries make it like Scotland to be a wee kind of, as you're saying, the West of Scotland, a wee diggy country when it comes to football. But I mean, as I said to you, Reagan, I mean, no matter if they're in a wee diggy team and in the Champions League, they've still got a right to be there, and that's the same as Rangers.
Aye, and to be honest with you, Michael, it wouldn't surprise me if Rangers got to. Well, I'm just going jinx it here, but it wouldn't surprise me if Rangers got to the semi final. I don't want you to choke on your juice. But it wouldn't surprise me if Rangers got to the semi final because you look at this match tonight. I expect them to go through. Then I expect them to give Roma or Athle- Athle- Athletic Club a match. People call them Atletico Bilbao, Michael, but I'll give them their proper name, Athletic Club. Um, I just feel they'll be able to go in there and feel confident that they can um, be a match for these teams because Rangers have shown in Europe, because I bet you Jose Mourinho was looking at the last few games against Mirren and against Motherwell and going, how can we get that? How can we not get that Rangers on that night? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but for some reason, when these players play away in Europe, they play amazingly well. They do.
He also, I don't know if you heard him saying that, he was also in Ibrox a few years ago and Rangers was playing Celtic when Celtic got to Seville and nobody recognised him.
Well, I wasn't going to mention his name, but a certain journalist said last night that he spotted him in the press box all those years ago. Um, he's seen him, so and he said that Josie was in the main stand and it was visible to people. So uh, I think Josie's a great character for the game. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the match tonight. Sure, it'll be razzmatazz and all the kind of shouting and bawling at the referees and whatever else, trying to get his players to play act. And it was also something that I think it was Alison McConnell, the sports journalist. She asked Barry a question yesterday in terms of, she said, right, Barry, we know that Josie will tell his players to be streetwise and play act. Is that something that you're going to tell your players to do? He said, I'm not going to actively tell them to do it, but it's something that the players need to learn in terms of, he thinks the expression he used was that he felt the Rangers players were too nice, and I think that's a great point that Barry made, because I think these players are too nice, because even when you look back to, I've read a newspaper column dur- dur- during the week, Michael, and Alex Ray was talking, and he was saying that if you go back to his day, those players, there was players calling you out if you didn't track back, if you didn't put a tackle in, if you didn't um, cross the ball properly. But the, the 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 modern day generation that was under Alec Ray and Philippe Clement, previous to Barry Ferguson, Neil McCann, and Alan McGregor and Billy Dodds, previous to that regime, he said that the players, there's no real digging each other out, and that's quite sad to see, because if you look at football, I mean, you can talk about Callum McGregor, but even Callum McGregor's he's not a shouting baller. He's a kind of a captain that leads by that leads by example, Michael.
Do you think that's what that the Scottish clubs are lacking when they go into Europe? And Barry Ferguson covered it there about they're too honest.
I think so, because even when you look back at last night, I don't know if you watched it, but the match was Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, and I mean the play acting every 2 minutes they're going down, and the referee's giving yellow cards. Is talking to the players, and I think that's something that you need to do. You look at someone like Cholo Simeone, the political manager, and that's somebody that's passionate. Um, he makes sure that his players know that no matter what you do anything to win. It doesn't matter if you buy free kicks, if you park 10 buses, you find a way to win. And I don't think enough of these players have got that will to win. Because even when you look at this Ranger squad this season, if you go back to the the Motherwell game at home, Celtic were Celtic were terrible against Hibs. They were not playing well. I mean, okay, our favourite apologist, uh, that VAR program that we talk about, Michael. I mean, they come out there and apologise every Friday and go, we're really really sorry about what's happened. Um, and I do feel sorry for the SFA that is a kind of apologist video every week, because it shouldn't be happening. But on that day, Celtic Celtic were not very good, and Hibs deservedly win, right? But the point was that as soon as Celtic got beat, every Rangers fan fully then expects Rangers to go and win and put the pressure back on Celtic. But did that happen?
No.
No, no. And it happened this season as well. Celtic drew 2-2 with Aberdeen. And what happened? Rangers then go and get beat 1-0 by Kilmarnock. And it should have been 2 or 3. You know,
So
and it's about, see, from the first whistle tonight, Michael, it's about getting the mentality spot on from
mm,
Rangers. They need to go out there and get the mentality bang on, because if the mentality is 1 inch off it, they will get beat and beat badly because everybody watching, everybody listening, they'll know that Jose Mourinho will get his players fired up for this. So it's all about these players responding and see how they react under pressure.
Yeah, because we haven't seen that from Rangers before this season. They're kind of like they're like a pack of cards that they kind of fold very easy, and when
Yeah, I
they
mean that was,
go.
sorry, Michael, I was just going to say that was a great statement by Dave King about 5 years ago when he said that when Rangers win the 55 title, Celtic will fold up a pack of cards, and that's no seem to have happened. Um,
I think it came back to bite them a wee bit, Regan.
I mean, Dave King spoke recently about uh, I think it was board fatigue. He called it. So hopefully, from a Rangers point of view tonight, they can get some more money in the bank, and the club can do well because it's a very important night. Because if Rangers go out here, they've got nothing more to play for. So I'm just hoping, from a Rangers point of view, they can get through, and the coefficient can do well too. Because as we know, it's took a real battering. 'Cause I don't know if you know, Michael, but even the team that won the Scottish Cup won't be guaranteed a place in Europe. And even if you finish third this season, still doesn't guarantee you a place either.
The what one man who would be hoping to get in that squad for tonight and will bring you the team news as soon as it comes out, maybe in about 15, 20 minutes, is Ballon. He was speaking yesterday. He said we have a massive game, but that we know the tie isn't it's not over yet, but we need to be on the ball, meaning we need to be on our game.
Yep.
Barry Ferguson says it's a difficult game. They will come here and have a go, and that's it, Reagan, because that's what I was saying to you about Rangers can afford to sit back, not too much, but I would expect Fenerbahce to come out all guns blazing from the first whistle.
Yeah, and Rangers need to be aware of that. And they also need to be aware about the referee as well, because the referees in Europe, they're quite abrupt. And if you make a bad tackle, the yellow card can come right out. You know, and that's something they need to be wary of as well. Um, but I think Rangers will go with the same setup as last week. I know they're playing at home, but I just feel that against this quality of opposition, that's what they need to do. And then hopefully the Rangers fans can go to Rome for some beautiful Italian pizza, beautiful Italian pasta, and enjoy themselves. Um,
There you go. There's Reagan talking about food already, and we're only what 26 minutes into the program.
yeah, I mean, I love my food, Michael. It's a big passion of mine.
Yep. Maybe we could get a food show. Go around all the cafes in Scotland. And then when our teams play away from home, we could maybe go to Italy and Spain and all that, and sample the
That
kind
sounds
of
lovely. Is
pizzas
that
over
is
there.
that is that what a place in the sun on Channel 4? We'll just
Yeah, yeah.
look.
Instead of that, I'll be a piece in the sun, and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting game tonight. How Fenerbahce is going to approach the game. I think the game plan would be to go at Rangers from the kind of like first whistle. But going back to that point that Josie made yesterday about be a better team than Rangers, I think he's kind of sending a message out to the team there because he's trying to get into the team's kind of like psyche
Yeah,
about
well,
you know.
that's a great word, Psyche. I mean, uh, I think in terms of what George is saying, I don't think he's saying it to be disrespectful to Rangers. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to say, look, my players, you need to wake up. You need to go for it. they were so passive last week, and it was an open game. But also that played into Rangers' hands. Because that's what Rangers Football Club enjoy. They enjoy an open game, and that's why they struggle against St Mirren and Motherwell, because St Mirren and Motherwell don't open up. They sit back, they defend, and they, they play and they score on the break.
Let's have a wee guess about the team, Reagan. Obviously, that the team news will be coming out soon. But do you think that and you mentioned it earlier on, do you think that he'll Barry Ferguson will stick with the same team as last week because they haven't had a few, they haven't had a game at the weekend? But in saying that, Barry Ferguson mentioned yesterday as well that there might be a few players out.
But the interesting thing was, Michael, he
But
said
he
there'll be a few.
didn't.
He said that there might be two or three players that miss this match, but he wasn't going to elaborate who it was that was missing. So
Mm,
I'm going to speculate and say John Suter plays at the back with Balogun. Um, I'm going to say Sterling possibly comes in, and yeah, um, Radvan Yilmaz again because he played really well. I think Connor Barron will come in. Uh, I think he'll play Tierney again, and I'm going to I think he'll stick with the kind of same sort of team that he played. But I think also Michael, it's a big night for Tavernier because
mm.
we've questioned him and he's come back to bite me on the backside, So that's a big night for Tavernier to step up again, because as much as not that I criticise Tavernier, I'm just a little bit annoyed at how inconsistent he can be, because I know there's a player in there, but I just feel like he's too inconsistent. And you look at the games against St Mirren, against Motherwell, he's not a guy that's ranting and raving and wanting Rangers players to improve. So I do see why Rangers fans can use him as a scapegoat, because he's not one that can rally the troops. And also he was the kind of guy that lost the ball for Motherwell to score the second goal. So I do understand what Rangers fans are saying. So it's a massive night for Tavernier to step up and show the fans that he is there to be counted on.
And I mean, it's a massive night, as we say, for the Rangers team, but it's also massive for Barry Ferguson if he stands any chance of getting the job. Even though we asked Andy on the show last week, and he said he's got no chance from getting the job, but you never know. I mean, if he gets through to the quarterfinals tonight, you never know. But also as well, I heard Barry saying yesterday that it was important a couple of days because when they came in to Rangers a few weeks ago, he had a game against Camargue on the Wednesday, and then they had a weekend game, so he didn't have much time to work with him. But because of the cup now, they've managed to work on the training park for like a couple of days.
I think in terms of what Barry's doing, I think if he wins tonight and wins on Sunday, I think he's in great contention for the job. I just feel like in terms of there's nothing else Barry can do um, other than win the matches. So I think in terms of what Barry does, if he wins tonight and wins on Sunday, he puts himself right at the top of that list. I don't care if there's a new ownership coming in. The new ownership at Everton, they went back to David Moyes because David Moyes appeased the fans. Can you imagine if Barry Ferguson was announced as a permanent Rangers manager? I think a lot of Rangers fans are really bought into it now, Mike. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, he offers something different because Fenerbahçe game, he was going mad at the sidelines, and that's how much he loves the club, Reagan, because he showed a bit of kind of like passion.
And I think as well, Michael, like no disrespect to Fleet Clermont, I think it was a kind of respectable individual. He was a good manager. Obviously, won trophies in Belgium and France, and he done well in his native Belgium and did really well there. He was linked to the manager's job when the Belgian manager got sacked. But I feel when you listen to Barry, there's a little bit more understanding of the standards, and he knows. And there's also a bit more understanding of these things are not acceptable. Because when you listen to Fleet Clermont, Michael, and the Rangers fans listen will know this, when you listen to Fleet Clermont, it's okay if Fleet Clermont come out and going, oh well, we had 25 shots at goal, but we done okay. I mean, if that's Barry Ferguson, you know he's not coming out and saying that. And I'm not going to say that the players briefly come on under the bus. They might have, but what I will say is I can see more of a togetherness. I can see a more of a plan than I ever did under Fleet Clermont. The only the only game that I really seen Fleet Clermont's plan really come into action um, over his 2 year spell at Rangers was the 3-3 game after they went 2-0 down. Apart from that, there wasn't really a plan there. Um, every match it was softly. We'll try again next week. And what I especially didn't like about Fleet Clermont either was that he often didn't congratulate the opposition. That is something that I do not like, Mike. I don't know about yourself, but if you listen to Brendan Rodgers, you listen to Walter Smith, um, even Steven Gerrard to a point, they always congratulated the opposition if they won a game. Always.
Was it the game at Parkhead, Reagan, or was it the game at Carmarthen? He never shook the manager's hand, and he get told to come out to shake his hand after the game.
I just think all round his persona didn't really suit Scottish football. I'm not going to say what other ex officials have said that he didn't really understand it because I think he understood it, but I think he thought he could play in second gear and still come out with a win. You know, and that's not the standard. He should be in that dressing room going, This is not acceptable. We should be doing better." But it wasn't. He was always um do you know what the big thing is with Michael? He never took any responsibility for himself. He always
Mm.
said, he always said, "Well, we had 20 shots at goal. What do you expect? We tried our best, stuff like that. That's not acceptable." I mean, I watched St Mirren go to Ibrox, and it was the easiest match I've ever watched an opposing team play Ibrox. It was so easy.
Giving Kavio on YouTube, he said that Rangers will get beat tonight. But yeah, it's nice to see you optimistic about Scottish football as well. Reagan, thanks for your comment. Reagan, I wanted to get back to you about that issue with Barry Ferguson kind of getting the job or wanting to get the job, and a lot of Rangers fans says he's a Rangers man and flew, and he is. But
Oh, he definitely is.
you know, and I know that if he gets a job and there's a Rangers fan, it doesn't kind of guarantee success.
Of course, it doesn't guarantee success, Michael. That may be just because I stop up picking uh, um, speaking to him on a regular basis. But he knows football in this country. He knows how to get the best out of the players, and also as well the fact that I sort of listened to Alex Ray the other night, and he was the sort of he said, of course, he said that basically that Fleet Clermont's effort was second to none. He did whatever, but also Barry Ferguson's got that first-hand experience of right. This is what this club's all about. I mean, I even said to you 2 weeks ago on Friday, if that Kilmarnock game was Fleet Clermont, that see Kilmarnock, they would have won that game. They've been home and host. It was
Mm,
because it was. Yeah, I wasn't privy to be in that dressing room that night of that game. I remember me and you did a locker room special that night. Um,
yeah,
when it was a midweek Scottish Premier
mm,
match on. But I think in terms of like, I'm sure I'm sure you would be able to imagine, Michael, that Barry Ferguson would be going nuts in that dressing room and telling the players exactly what he thought. And I think that's something that they need as well. They need to be told, look, this is not acceptable. You're at a club at Rangers. I mean, even at the moment, if Rangers lose on Sunday to Celtic, they're going to go an astonishing 19 points clear on the 16th of March. I mean, that's just not acceptable. Not acceptable.
no,
Because
I know.
it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. I mean, I've heard people saying that this is the worst Rangers squad that we've seen for a long, long time or whatever. That it does not matter. You need to go out there. You know what I mean? Because people say, "Oh, Rangers need to improve for next year." Yes, but see next year, Rangers will be playing Motherwell, St Mirren, Falkirk, Ayr if they're up, Aberdeen. They're playing the same teams, so Rangers should be beating these clubs, Michael.
yeah, I know what you mean. Going back to your point and kind of Barry Ferguson when he came in, he's in a no-win situation in terms of like he can't buy anyone because the window's shut. He can change the squad, but that's all he can do.
Yeah, Michael, I was just going to ask you. I heard yesterday that John Suter is in the last six, is in the last year of his contract. In terms of Rangers, then, do you think they might offer him a new contract? Because we heard the new chief executive, Patrick Stewart, basically telling the club's website that they need to do a player trading model. And of course, he didn't mention Celtic, but we know that Rangers are quite envious of that player trade model that Celtic have with selling players every year on year and selling them for a huge profit. So, do you think that should be a key for Barry Ferguson and Patrick Stewart and the rest of the backroom team to get John Suter tied down to a new contract? Because there might be Rangers fans calling in here tonight on show and saying, "Look, but John Suter has been injured quite a lot. So what is your opinion, Michael? Do you think they should offer him a new contract or?"
Yeah, I mean, well, put it this way, Regan, right? If you were going to sell some players to get money in, who would you sell? Now, the obvious one would be maybe maybe Jack Butland to a certain extent, and John Suter for kind of like big money. But yeah, if I was a Rangers fan, I would want to see Suter there beyond that season because he's kind of grown in experience now, especially when they play for Scotland as well.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I think in terms of John Suter as well. Of course, he's been injured, but I think see when he plays, Michael, he's a standout performer. He's brilliant. He played last week. It was great, and he'll play in the double header for Scotland against Greece in a few weeks' time. So I think it's a no-brainer for Rangers to sign John Suter back up.
Yeah, no, exactly. But as we were talking about there, like I don't know if Rangers will want to spend to sell any players. I mean, there's no one to catch your eye, Reagan, and say, well, mm, um, that he's going to go to bring money into the club because it's just not,
Well,
you know.
I think the one kind of training light would be Gamani, but he's no scored now for 9 consecutive matches. So
Yeah, that's a weird one, Reagan, right? Because at the beginning of the season, we come on here a lot in the Sunday show, and we said that Iggy Manning Cherney was doing well up front, scoring a lot of goals. But by Christmas, or maybe before Christmas, the goals kind of like dried up, and it's funny because they stopped scoring the goals.
yeah, I mean, obviously I've never scored a goal in my life for obvious reasons, but I think when you score goals, that becomes a confidence issue. I think maybe he's going through a little dry spell at the moment, but for Rangers fans' point of view, they'll be hoping that tonight he can bring that back and do well because if Rangers get through tonight, there's big there's big money at stake. There's big consequences, and I'm sure that every Rangers supporter tonight is hopeful that these players can put on a big performance because one thing that these players seem to do is turn their form on and off like a tap, and that's not acceptable for a club like Rangers.
I mean, I know we're doing all these shows and it's brilliant to cover Rangers and the winning games and all that. But it's a win tonight against a big name like Fenerbahçe and an even bigger name than the manager, Mourinho. The supporters should be asking questions about, well, why are you playing out your skin against Fenerbahçe away from home and we've just beaten my books, yet we can't beat Motherwell?
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, in terms of what Rangers do, I don't know what they do day to day, but maybe they've just not got enough characters in that dressing room to really push them on.
Yeah, I mean, you need maybe like like, you maybe need a few captains in your team, Reagan. I know every team's got a captain and all the rest of it, but you need captains as in they need to shout at the team when they're not kind of doing well at times as well. But I don't think Rangers has got that at the moment
Like
when
with
they're
the
looking
Rangers,
at the team.
like
Oh,
with the
you got
no,
the Rangers team.
no, I'm not Michael. I'm just going to say the Rangers players have arrived at Ibrox at that marble staircase. So I'll let you know as soon as I hear that team news.
Ah, brilliant, yeah. So hopefully we'll be moments away from rigging Brennan as the team tonight. Rangers against Fenerbahce, 8 o'clock kickoff. But live on TNT Sport, but turn down TNT because we'll be back on at 10 o'clock with the post match show. I'll be joined tonight by Reagan and Andy will be joining us after the show to pick the
Is
bones out of the game tonight.
is Robbie coming on as well?
I hope Robbie's about tonight, yeah. So we just have to wait and see, but hopefully the Robster will be coming on, yeah.
You need to make sure you pay him the right money, Michael. You know.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I, that's it. I never paid him for that Sunday shift. As well. But by the way, he done talking about Robbie, he done a brilliant job on Sunday presenting the
I
show.
did.
That was his first time doing it. So fair play to Robbie as well. Um, and a wee quick plug in because we'll be back tomorrow with it's gonna be a an interesting weekend, but Reagan, because I'm gonna call it Derby weekend because obviously you've got Celtic and Rangers and then you've got Dundee United against Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, so looking forward to it. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Both sets of fans are going to be great. Because there's going to be both sets of fans in the stadium. Wow, I mean, it's just great for Scottish football. It's great for the broadcasters. You know, we know that Sky and TNT and Premier Sports have really had an issue because they want to have as many fans as possible in the stadium. So I think in terms of um, what Rangers have done in terms of finally the two clubs sitting down and being able to get some sort of agreement. I seen photos yesterday of Celtic being able to have netting at the stadium for the fans. So it's great to see that both clubs have came to some sort of agreement as well.
Yeah, and we'll have more build up to the game tomorrow. We'll have um, uh, we'll have Celtic on, um, and then we'll have Andy talking about the Rangers again from a Rangers point of view as well. So that's all to look forward to on Sunday, Friday, and then we'll be back on Sunday with the roundup, and when we're on Sunday, it will include the Dundee Derby, Dundee United against Dundee.
Sorry, Michael, I've got
Oh,
the Rangers team here.
oh, there we go. Reagan's got the Rangers team. On you go, Reagan.
Yep, the Rangers team is Jack Butland in goal. James Tavernier, the Rangers captain. John Suter has made it. Leon Balogun, Jeffy Sterling, Nico Raskan, Diamande, Connor Barron plays, Cherny plays, and the main man from last week, nice one Cyril, the nice one son, Cyril Dessers is playing up front.
He's had quite a good season for Rangers. I mean, um, I remember doing the shows, the Man United game, and they scored a cracking goal against Old Trafford, and um, he was only a few minutes away from getting Rangers all 3 points. But we know what happened that night. Rangers still got a point, but like enough, but they would get felt as though it was a kind of like defeat when they came back up the road. But yeah, I mean, so what do you make of that team, Reagan?
Um, I promise you I've not been talking to Barry, but I did say there about half an hour ago, Michael, that I did expect Sterling to come in, because I just felt that he's a really reliable kind of player. So I'm happy that we're with a team that Barry selected. The only one that I'm interested that's not in the team is Brad Van Yilmaz. I'm just going to check the bench at the moment too. I've got the bench here as well, Michael, if you want to hear it.
There you go. Yep.
The bench is Kelly, Proper, Lawrence, Boudrami, Enchiala, Igamani, Hadji, McCausland, Bailey Rice, Danilo, Redvan Yilmaz, and McCausland.
I think the only one that surprises me, Reagan, we were talking about him as well. Agamani is on the bench again.
Well, to be honest with you, Michael, I think it's a good idea because you look at the setup that they had last week in terms of Debtors and Cherny. I mean, the ball through from Cherny to play Debtors through is delightful. Some people would even call it Turkish delight. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Other chocolate bars are available, by the way. But I mean, in terms of what Cherry did last week, that ball he put through was magnificent. And yeah, I mean, I think in terms of what Rangers are doing, I mean, I think you can be very pleased with a 2-goal lead at the moment. and they'll just be looking to capitalise on it. I think it's the perfect team because it's also showing respect to Jose Mourinho as well, playing that five at the back again. He's proven that, look, this tie is not far from over. So we need to go out there and do the same job and even better than we did last week. Because if Fenerbahçe get one goal in, like you said, Rangers might fold a pack of cards. So Barry Ferguson said yesterday that he is planned for all permutations. And I think what he meant there was a Fenerbahçe score.
Yeah, no, I exactly, and I think as well that the Rangers fan will be kicking himself because see if it wasn't for VR rigging, we would be sitting here and the game would be over by now because it would have been 5-1.
Yeah, and well, I think one of the goals, looking back at it, one of the goals looked onside, to be honest with you. But sometimes VR can go for you or go against you. Sadly, at this occasion, it went against Rangers. But I remember a game against, I think it was Union Saint Germain in the group stage, where Rangers got a goal that potentially should have been looked at, and the goal was able to stand. So sometimes it can go for you or go against you, Michael.
Yeah, no, I exactly. I mean, if you say Kenny Rangers fan before the first game, they would say, well, maybe we could sneak a wee 1-0 or 2-1, but you would never say 3-1.
I mean, it was probably the most perfect result you could ask for, and that save from Jack Butland could prove to be very crucial as well. So
Yeah.
Rangers will be very very pleased. Michael, I'm just going to run through that Rangers team one more time for the
Yeah,
Rangers
on
fans
you go.
just tuning in there. It's Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Balogun, Jeff Day, Sterling, Ruskin, Diamande, Barron, Cherney, and Dessers. The Rangers bench is Ruud van Yilmaz, Proper, Tom Lawrence, Bajrami, Agamani, Hadji, McCausland, Bailey Rice, Nathan Curtis, and Danilo. And the Rangers sub goalkeeper is Lee Kelly.
Well, that's the Rangers game to face Fenerbahçe, 8 o'clock kickoff at Ibrox as well. I think in these kind of night rigging that the fans will play their part tonight.
Oh, the fans definitely will play their part. I mean, as much as Ibrox, for a lot of Rangers fans this season, has been a very volatile kind of vitriol place, it can become special. And we've seen it in 2022 when they went that famous run where Rangers went to Seville, like Celtic did all those years ago. Isn't it quite amazing, Michael, that Celtic went in 2002 and Rangers went in 2022? I mean, it was just a great run for the two Scottish teams, and I think in terms of what Rangers will be trying to do, they'll be trying to do that again because I don't know if you know, Michael, but the final is going to be in Spain as well, so they'll just be looking to get a magical run to Spain.
Yeah, no, and it'd be good for if it does happen late enough. It's kind of spots maybe you've got to beat Fenerbahce first, and then look at the quarterfinal games. Will put Scottish football on the map. In terms of like European neighbours.
It definitely will, and I think in terms of these clubs sometimes ridicule, oh, it's Rangers got beat by St Mirren, and then they got pumped by somebody in Europe. But if we can restore that reputation, then it's all great things for us, and it's good things for Scottish football as well because I think we've got a great product. I think we've got David Gray doing well at Hibs. We've got Aberdeen doing well. We've got Celtic's doing well in the league. I think in terms of what Rangers are doing in Europe, it's that Rangers are doing very well in Europe, and I think it's great for the product in Scotland.
Yeah, it's good to put Scottish football on the map a little bit, because it's been in the doldrums for so many years, and it's good. It's just brilliant to see it back again. You know.
Aye, because as well, if because of the European form in recent years, whoever wins the title this year don't get automatic qualification. So that'll be important for Rangers as well to make sure that they can go as far as they can to then improve the Champions League qualification for the following year. Because as things stand at the moment, Rangers will be going through 2 or 3 qualifiers. So that's something that the club would want to avoid it as well. But it'll be interesting when we get to June or July to see where everything stands.
Okay, that's all for us for the moment. Don't forget we are now away from kickoff at Ibrox between Rangers and Fenerbahçe on the second leg. So thanks for watching.
Michael, how come on these shows you always try to avoid a prediction?
Okay, I will give you a prediction. I will say 2-1 to Rangers.
Okay, I'll go 2-2.
Oh, interesting. So we will be back at 10 o'clock with your reaction to the game at Ibrox between Rangers and Fenerbahçe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks to Reagan. And we'll be back at 10 o'clock.
The Locker Room, with all the sports news you need, live